brilliant initiative because none of us really is cognizant of cancer. We're not aware of how it hits us, and things like this make us sit back and recognize that women that we fraternize with on an everyday basis, women that we are so friendly with, we really don't know that they've been through this debacle. But I would go a little deeper and say that the big C hits us in different ways, not only the breast cancer awareness program. For me, I'm taking this awareness another step and looking at it as a greater, a problem, a malaise that has hit our society in the 20th century. And I think that coming together like this, even the magazine, Elle this time is speaking a lot about cancer, things you need to be aware about, the tests that all of us are so negligent about, in this rat race that we all run. So I personally come here and I'm always astounded to see women like Esther, women like Tarana, who've been through such a terrible phase, come out looking even more beautiful. If I may say so, the underprivileged, because we still have access to cures, access to awareness. I think this has to also be taken to the underprivileged that aren't aware, that don't know about things like pap smears. So it doesn't have to be the big C. It can be, a pancreas problem, it can be a heart problem, it could be a brain problem. The bottom line is that a single moment of tragedy, of ailment can change the fabric of your life. And so the first point I'd say is not to take life for granted, but more importantly, to be a little more compassionate about people who probably need, to have wheelchair access, to have, a little more consideration for people who maybe, have shaved, tonsured their heads, their hair, and, have got, maybe, not got a limb. It could be just anything. It doesn't have to be only the big thing. But having said so, I am aware of the fact that life is very, very vulnerable, and we really must cherish the people that we love and the people around us who are underprivileged. Another very, very important thing that I see in India is that there's a complete lack of sensitivity towards ailments. People don't get out and give place to people in lifts at hospitals, people who are in wheelchairs, people who have a problem. More importantly, people, who are handicapped. Never in India is there provision for ramps, for lifts, for, in archaeological sites, there's not that small little lift that is provided all over the world. So I just feel people who suffer from cancer, people who suffer from accidents don't seem to have the confidence to get out, because it's nearly something you're hiding. So if someone, and the people that we see here today, beautiful women who suffered from cancer, are nearly poster boys, are nearly ambassadors who are sending a message out saying that, look, there's nothing to be ashamed of. Let's celebrate the people that we are, and however long life may be, let's celebrate it.
I have a really, really strong message for all the women in India. That let's not take our health for granted. We're seeing a rise in breast cancer. It's a reality. It's not a myth. And the good part is we know that you can keep it at check. Breast cancer caught early is curable. But none of us go to get checkups done. Why? I was detected with a breast cancer 10 years ago, actually 11. I've actually forgotten because I've moved on. I've moved on because I've done so much. I've tried to create awareness with whatever means are available to me, and to make women in this country realize that after a certain age, it's imperative that we take care of ourselves. Our families depend on us. We are the pillars of strength to all the people who love us. Can you imagine what happens when you crumble? Everything around you crumbles. So we owe it to the ones who love us to get ourselves checked regularly. We are really lucky that breast and cervical cancer have tests that can pick up both very, very early, in their early stages. And a cancer picked up in an early stage is very curable, like in my case. So why do women not make the effort once a year after the age of 50, get a mammogram done, get a pap smear done, go and see a doctor, learn how to do a self-breast examination. It's very simple things. I mean, you know, rather than telling yourself, it will never happen to me. I always thought it would never happen to me, but it did. And I'm here in front of you saying, it did, but it's behind me. Because I caught it early. So you can too. Foolish, silly girls. Go and get yourself checked. You are too precious. We love you all. We're all sisters under the skin. We owe it to each other to be there for each other. So I am extending my love to you in this message saying, take care of yourself, keep abreast with your breasts, do what you have to do, because you are all very precious.